everyone. This is Dan French here. I'm with LV Home Experts, the show. I'm in studio with Mr. Chakits Krulsawat. He is from Simply Vegas. Chakits, how you doing today, buddy, on this nice, hot day going on here on a Saturday?
I know. What is it, 105 today, isn't it?
Oh, man, I was in my car and I had the air conditioning blowing. It was still sweating.
Well, that means you need some tint. Get some tint, man.
Driving around in a fishbowl.
I'm also in studio with Joey Andron. He's a person that's on Chakits' team. He's also a real estate agent, very seasoned from Simply Vegas. Joey, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, we love having you. How many times you been on the show now, Joey?
This is my second.
Second time, man. For those of those people out there that don't know who Joey is, give them just a quick snapshot view of who Joey is.
Yeah, so I've been in the real estate industry for 15 years, originally from South Florida. Moved out here in 2013 and just been killing the game.
Yeah, you've been doing it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You've been really killing it on Chakits' team, and Chakits just is back there, popping his collar over there because he's just really doing well with his team. What's going on with you, man? How you been doing today?
It's a little bit hot today, as you can see. I got a sunburn.
Yeah, you went jogging, right?
Yeah, like a
Right
gangster.
I thought you were going to get a stroke. I was already calling the producer like, oh, he's not going to show up. He went jogging. It's 105, and you showed up, man. So, kudos to you. I'm glad.
I barely made it.
You came in sweating.
I came in sweating. That's right.
So what's going on? We got a lot of topics here today about Las Vegas with financing and real estate. And if you guys don't know out there what this show's about, it's about financing and real estate. And, we got Joey. He's going to talk about some things that maybe is concerning, or not really concerning, but just things he's starting to see.
He's got some great topics, right?
Great points, and I wouldn't say it's post-COVID. I think COVID's still going on, but I think people are starting to open up, and we're all dealing with what's going on out there, and people are starting to buy homes again. And so, Joey, we talked a little bit about this coming into the show. So what are some of the things you're seeing out there right now with buyers? I mean, I know it's hot, but they're still wanting to buy, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, ever since California started easing restrictions, people felt a little bit more comfortable going outside and traveling around a little bit.
Yeah.
As soon as they did that, it was like the floodgates opened.
Wow. Yeah, it was weird because today I was at KB Homes at Inspirada, and I was talking to Jim, the sales agent, because I have a client that's looking at a property over there. As a matter of fact, we're doing a full video tour, so I've never physically met this client. So this is one of the offers that we do supply to our clients too as well, so keep that in mind. Anyway, he was telling me that post-COVID, basically what's going on, I mean, I think they just got like 5 deals in escrow within the last like 4 days. And when I was out there a couple of weeks ago, with this coronavirus, deals are falling apart left and right. And the reason why these deals are falling apart is because you got to take a look at the whole sector. Remember, the average household income is about $51,000. At $51,000, what are people really qualifying for, right? About $450 and below. And you have to understand the casinos, right? The hospitality, that's where pretty much where all the buyers are at. So when they start losing their job, deals start to fall apart. But the crazy thing about it is, like I said, I went back there today. Now the floodgates are open, just like you're saying. It's amazing.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're seeing a lot of people coming from California, but I'm getting a lot of East Coast buyers now as well.
Yeah. East Coast, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, people that are putting plans in place for the next 2-3 months, they're like, we're coming out. New York is done. They want to get out, so they're really excited about coming to Las Vegas. And, our build times are about 6 to 8 months.
Oh, yeah.
So we're doing a lot of video tours right now, which is very, very helpful for our buyers. And then touching on our California buyers, our market's just so hot. We have such little inventory that now I'm just telling, hey, listen, you see a property that you like, we have 14-day due diligence, put it under contract, drive out here. Because if not, it's gone.
Didn't you lose a deal like that you were saying?
Yeah.
Man, how you going to lose a deal?
If you're dealing with me and I say jump on the deal.
Jump on the deal.
Jump on the deal.
Yeah. So you want to talk a lot about the hospitality sector, right?
Yeah.
So you say a lot of people are they back to work? Does anybody know if most of the people? So most everybody's back to work now on the Strip.
Well, a lot of the casinos are open, right?
Yeah, slowly. So they're actually working with skeleton crews. So I have
skeleton crews.
Yeah, so I have a lot of friends who work for the Cosmopolitan Marquee nightclub and stuff, and they're going like 5-6 people per shift. Per position.
Yeah.
But then they can't work the next day. It's every other day.
You know what? I got a buddy. He works at Tao and he works at the pool, and he started working at the pool again. And that's what he was saying. So that way, if somebody does get sick, right, then, hey, you guys got to stay home. We got the second set of crew that come in.
Yep. Man, so you guys got all these connects, man. Look at you guys. I got somebody at Tao. I got somebody over here. I mean, what's going on, man? Where's the
We're
Pass the
dialed.
love, man.
We're dialed. We're
What you
dialed
need?
in.
I got it. That's good.
You just have something in your nose, right? So, Joey, we're talking about a lot of people out of state. You got a lot of East Coast. So you see a lot of people come in here and they got money. Most of them have money. And so what are you seeing that price point where they're coming here and starting to buy at? Because, right now, we didn't really talk about this last week. Where is that starting point for people right now to go out and buy a home?
450.
450.
400, 450.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Yeah. I mean, and in my experience, like what I'm getting a lot of people who are looking for single stories.
Yeah.
So as you know, Chuck, single stories are just priced higher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So depending on which location, out in Cadence, you could probably find a better deal.
Yeah.
Out there, your dollar goes a little bit further. Enterprise area is pretty hot right now, but you're gonna be looking at a KB product.
Yeah.
Right. But the 400s, 450s is probably where they're starting at.
I think these new homes right now is really the hot property situation where people are like, it's really hot right now for people to go make offers on these new homes. Is that right? I mean, is that what you guys are starting to see?
Well, we talked about that today,
Yeah.
and you mentioned that a lot of people are going to new homes because, right now with the resales, they're kind of outdated at this point. And I realize Vegas is such a trendy city. It's like changing styles and clothes where a lot of people are starting to shift away from the traditional type of homes, and everybody wants that contemporary, straight edge type of cornering. They want that mid-century type of home. I mean, everybody's moving to like a whole different trends of housing. It's weird.
Could it be also too because people are staying in their homes? Right, with all this stuff that's going on in the news, the forbearance. I'm not saying everybody's taking advantage of that, but maybe people are they're just concerned. They don't know what's going to happen, and they just want to see all this pass and really kind of maybe head into towards the end of the year. Summertime's usually our time to really shine, right?
Well, here's the thing. I realize that the cash buyers that don't need to buy, they're the ones that kind of just sitting around and they want to see what's going on because they are in that position. But, I mean, we have buyers that are buying every single day. Like, they just don't care.
Yeah.
But I think what's happening is majority of our buyers, I would say about 95% of our buyers are out of state. And they're comparing their pricing to where they live and the cost of living where they live. They don't care what they're paying because they look at, hey, I'm paying half price of what I'm paying for. Why not just buy here?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think to piggyback off that, you're coming from these markets like on the East Coast, South Florida, Miami, or California, and they've already been exposed to that new design, that new contemporary design.
Yeah.
And they like it. So when they come here to Vegas, we've had a luxury market, but it's been like a micro market, right? So now all like the Blue Heron homes, the Christopher homes, now they're starting to pump out these beautiful contemporary homes in Ascaya, and I think that's what's driving the market. They want that. It's in demand.
Guys out there, if you guys want to call in studio, 702-257-5396. That's 702-257-5396. Call in with all your real estate and financing questions right now. So we're talking about new homes, and we're also talking about where it's desirable and that price point. So when you come out and you have people come in to make offers on homes, where's the new home starting point? You always say it's 450. Is that what you're insinuating?
Well, I mean, you can get a new home base price in the mid to high 300s.
Okay.
Right. But if you're going to be at that 450 price range, you have to also can take into consideration your options that you're going to add, right? Lot premiums and everything else. So that's going to be a total of 450. But if you're looking for in a specific area, Summerlin, you're going to be looking, 450.
Yeah,
base
about
price
450
minimum. Yeah.
No, I mean there are new homes out there that we'll start off at 300,000, but I mean you're probably not going to like the location as much, and if you take a look at the upgrades, you won't have that many upgrades. I mean you're pretty much moving into an apartment building, so.
I think a big commodity for people too when they're buying homes, especially coming from out of state. I think in general, but coming out of state, everybody wants a pool, especially with this 105-degree weather, right? So does that really eliminate a lot of the properties out there? Let's say if you're buying an existing home.
Yes.
Now, and also I noticed that only really happens during the summertime too. So when the summertime kicks up, everybody wants a pool. Wintertime, they're like, we don't worry about a pool. But sometimes it's worth a pool and sometimes it's not. I mean, you got to look at the pros and cons. I mean, do you want to clean it? If not, you're going to have to pay $125 a month. Is it really worth it? Yeah. The next question is how often are you going to utilize that pool?
Yeah.
But now if you're buying a home that's like $1.2 million, then you definitely need a pool because that's just one of the requirements for those type of homes.
Yeah, I find a lot, when I have this conversation with my clients, they're like, a pool's a must. It's a must-have. I always tell them just keep an open mind because if you can actually build a pool later on down the road, it's probably beneficial because you just have more options to choose from because you literally eliminate about 85% of the homes if you click that button, that option for a pool. So if you can build one later on, perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
what is the, if somebody wanted to buy a home, and I don't know this number, but I've never really brought it up on this show, so I'm curious. Maybe you guys know. What is the starting point if somebody wants to buy a home and then let's say a year or two down the road they're like, you know what, I want to throw a pool in there. I want to do it. Is it pretty expensive these days to put a pool in?
Pools are going to run you about $80,000, and when it comes to pools, it's like building a car. The more options that you have, I mean, you can throw a lot towards it. I mean, I have a client that we spent $250,000 just to pool alone, and $100,000 just for the landscaping. I mean, that's just the backyard. But I mean, we're talking about a $2.5 million deal. But I mean, you know, for a pool that's probably like 10 by 15, you're probably looking at almost about $80,000, just depending on the style of the pool. If you want waterfalls and stuff like that, if you want a jacuzzi, if it's going to be a saltwater pool. So I mean, there's so many options that you can do with a pool.
We got a caller on line one, and also back up behind that, we have another caller. Can you push that first caller through? Hello, is this Mark?
Yes. How you doing?
Mark, how you doing, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for calling in on a Saturday. We appreciate your call. What's your question?
Yeah, awesome. Oh, yes. I was talking about the forbearance or deferment, the difference, because I'm currently doing a refi since the Feds just lowered the interest rates. So I was currently on a 3.8% 30-year fix. So now I'm going on a 2.8% 30-year fix.
Wow, nice.
So, but after the refi, I'm thinking of doing the deferment because the HEROES Act bill is about to be passed, and they're proposing a 12-month no mortgage. They'll add 1 year to your loan. So, for example, you have a 20-year loan, it'll become 21. And I'm thinking, okay, should I just take that money and I guess save it, reinvest it?
I mean, that's a good question. I think it's like this, though. You know, you still have to pay the interest on that year that you're going to push to the back end of the loan. So, I mean, that's your decision. I know that some servicers don't let you do that as far as like, okay, you just closed and we're going to go ahead and let you go into forbearance. Some do, or most do, but I know that some don't. And then the ones that actually do let you come in and actually get a loan after forbearance is really Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. FHA, for instance, for me, I've had people come in trying to get an FHA refinance, and once it shows, you know, on the credit report, we really can't push forward until that's either removed or we find out what the situation is. So that's
right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because the HEROES Act is stating they're not reporting it to the credit bureau. What's being proposed at the moment.
Yeah, they're not reporting it as far as affecting your credit, but the verbiage that comes on there, it actually shows on the verbiage where your mortgage is at on your credit report.
So it still does affect it then.
It doesn't affect it as far as the credit.
But they're aware of it.
But they're aware of it, exactly. So, you know, when you ask a question like that, that's more of a personal question. I think if you're asking what would I do, I would probably do it only if I had to, because I don't want to push my, you know, you could save the money and you can, you know, do the things you need, but at the end of the day, you know, you're still you have to pay that mortgage. So, you know, it's more of a personal decision. It really is, Mark. I mean,
yeah. And last thing, like regarding the tax, you know how it goes to like an impound account. Does that on a forbearance, does that go towards the, like, you know, next year, or do you still have to pay that property tax since I'm impounded?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to just say, hey, you're not going to be able to pay that. You know what I mean? You're going to still have to pay it at some point. I think it's just everything's on a freeze. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
And also, I mean, when that whole thing transpires, where it's you know, everything's completed, you do want to call the servicer and ask what's, you know, if that's really something that you have to do, you need to get all the parameters about what they're offering for that. Like I said, every servicer is a little different with what's happening. Like I said, I always coach people probably not to do it, but that's just me, only because, you know, it doesn't help you. It actually it doesn't help your position. You're trying to lower the principal interest. If you really don't have a job, then you have to take it. But if you're working, you know, I don't know. That's something I don't know if I would do that.
I gotcha. Thank you.
Mark, I appreciate you calling in, man. It's you know, like I said, I appreciate everybody calling in today. We got also another caller, right? Line 2. All right, Aaron, you there?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling in.
I have a different kind of question for you guys today.
Sure.
Maybe could you talk maybe a little bit about the geological situation out in Vegas? Like, are there better areas of town that are less prone to foundation issues, or is it all about the same, or how's that all shaping out there?
Dan, why are you pointing to me? Why don't you answer this question?
Because it says right here they want Chuck's advice on this.
I'll let Joey run with this one.
I mean, I do watch his videos.
I'll let Joey answer this question. Today he's the man. So, How are you gonna answer this question, Joey?
Well, I think you're more the foundation expert.
Okay, so this is how it works. As a licensed real estate agent, we can't say, hey, this is the best location. But what I realize is that if you take a look on the east side, the west side, the north side, and the south side, okay, if you break it down by the price per square foot, you'll notice that like Summerlin is about $196 a square foot. On the east side is about $156 a square foot. Okay, on the south side is about $178 a square foot. On the north side of town is about $168 a square foot. So it looks like everything is pretty much broken down based upon income level and based upon the housing price point. So the best way to combat this is really to go out there and take a look at every side of town, every single community, based upon what you're looking for and also based upon your purchasing power. Then from there, then you'll make the educated decision to see what the pros and cons are, because there's a lot of great neighborhoods throughout the whole Las Vegas Valley that people are just not aware of. And every time I get a call, the first thing is like, I want to go to Summerlin. But then when I show them everything else, Summerlin is not always the best area. There's always other areas that you need to take a look at, and that's the best way to tackle the situation.
Did that answer that question, Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking to come out here pretty soon and maybe take a look at some properties, or what's the story on you as far as that?
Oh no, I'm in Dallas. I just like seeing what's going on out there in Vegas. So
Market's good there, man, in Dallas, huh?
yeah, but the thing is that like a lot of places here in Dallas, like the people are throwing up brand new $800,000, $1 million houses, and 3 to 5 years later they're having foundation problems. So it's like if you go out and look at those new houses that they're building, it looks good, but 3-4 years later, it's like you might start seeing cracks. So it's
What is this, like soil problems out there, or what are they doing?
yeah, because a lot of areas out here, they're not really friendly when it comes to foundations. There's only a couple part of towns that were built on like cliffs and things like that, where they have a good stone base, but the rest of it is just like fields and things. So it's people throwing up $1 million houses and having to call the foundation people to come out and fix their problem. So.
Well, the good news is if you move out here, you'll be living on a rock.
Yeah.
So you won't have that problem.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. Thanks for the call in and appreciate it.
Cool.
Thanks, Aaron.
Good work, guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So this is Joey Day.
Mm-hmm.
This is Joey Day. Joey, what's
my
up, man?
day.
It's your day.
It's my day.
It's all about Joey. It's like your birthday, Joey. We didn't bring the cake, but
man,
it's still
well,
your day, man.
I'll tell you, I just got back into town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did go to Florida for 2 weeks, so
You look a little bit tanned up a little bit.
Were
you out in the
so
sun?
dark.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, who is this guy walking? I was like, is Joey here? Like, where's Joey?
it's my natural color.
No, it does pop though with that white shirt.
Yeah,
You know what I
thank
mean?
you.
It does
Thank you.
pop.
Yeah,
So
I feel good.
let's talk about what you wanted to really go over on the show, which is what is the improper expectation as far as what clients come out here. And right now you're saying that sometimes people come out here thinking they can really get more bang for their buck right now because of the market and what's going on. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely get more bang for your buck depending on from which location you're coming from, right? But when you're coming to this market, everybody's out here trying to do the same thing. So you gotta put yourself like a little reality check, right? Everyone's looking for a deal, and there are deals to be had. But when everyone's going after these properties, especially in resale, new homes, it's easy, right? Because you can go there, you can pick your floor plan, your lot's available, you know exactly what you're going to get. But when you're out there looking for a resale for a specific type of floor plan, and if it's something like you want a pool or a master down, and you find that property and it's priced right and it's clean, you can't lowball offers, especially in this market, right? You can't come in.
What about closing costs?
Huh?
What about closing costs?
Oh, you can ask for closing costs, but we got to keep things in perspective, right? Because we do have a shortage of inventory, right? And we have over 100 people moving here per day. So, and everyone's after these properties. So you have to be realistic with your offers, and it's just that type of market right now. It is a seller's market. So everyone's after these properties. Come in at a realistic price, right? Because you are going to find yourself in a multiple offer situation.
So, Joey, why don't you walk us through the process? So, if I'm a client and I find a property that's at $350, I say, "Hey, Joey, I really like it." What do you do from there? I mean, do you run the comps? I mean, walk us through the process.
Yeah. So we run the comps. We want to make sure that the property is priced right. Okay. Run the comps, and we come up with a fair offer. Now, we definitely want to talk to the listing agent and make sure that there's no additional offers. Right. So if the property was just listed and there's multiple offers, we obviously know that we have to come in at or around list price, right? If we're coming in $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 less, chances are we're probably not going to get that property, right?
Now, when you call the listing agent, what are you actually fishing for? And how does that leverage you out for your clients?
Well, first I want to see what the seller situation is.
Yeah.
Why are they selling? Is there something wrong with the house? Are they relocating? Are they upsizing, downsizing? Just get the backstory so I can see where they're at emotionally, right? Because that will determine a lot of how flexible they are or how motivated they are to sell.
Yeah.
Right. So try to get that information, and then we pull the comps, and then we obviously ask if there's any additional offers on the property. Now, if they say, yes, we have a lot of interest, we have 1 or 2 offers, sometimes the listing agent will let you know. I always ask the question. It's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
They'll tell you yes or no. And then we go from there. We submit the offer, and I always prepare my clients, say, look, there's interest in the property, but we need to be prepared that we're going to be in a highest and best situation. What do you think this property is worth, and how much will you pay for it? And have that conversation just so we can manage expectations.
What is the month's supplies for homes right now? Like if you were to, how many, you said there was?
It's like 3.2.
3.2 months?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not terrible. We saw it when it was really terrible, like really bad. We saw it where there was really not a lot of properties. Wasn't it like, what, a month or two?
No, it was only about like 2.3 months.
2.3 months.
So, I mean, we roughly have about 8,000 properties currently on the market,
Wow.
and that includes townhomes, single-family residence, triplexes, duplexes, and all that, and condos as well. So just keep that in mind. Now, I remember, back in 2009, 2010, there was over 18,000 properties.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a big difference, and things are moving. So when people say, hey, man, that's a lot of properties, that's really not, because when you start punching in your certain criteria, you're going to start to see that number dwindle, and that's what we do. So it's like when I sit down with a client, we jump on the MLS. Here is all the properties. So now what's going to happen is just like a funnel. We're going to break it down. You tell me what your price point is. Boom, half, right? 3 bedrooms. Now it just keeps breaking down and breaking down if you want a pool, if you want a master bedroom downstairs. So it just minimizes it. And next thing you know, they only have like 15 properties to choose from.
So as you guys were talking about how desirable it is and how there's short of supply, are we in a multiple offer scenario right now with homes? Is it happening quite
Absolutely.
often?
Okay. It happened to me twice this week.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, it's not. Is it just
I didn't win. We didn't win.
Yes.
But it happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in the market. So people are going to have to be coached a little bit that, hey, you know what? We're going to put a strong offer, but there's going to be others putting in a strong offer, and then it's just really a crapshoot. Is that what it is?
It comes down to the strongest offer, and not cash doesn't always necessarily win.
Okay.
And just because you're the highest price, it doesn't mean the deal's going to get done, because the property's probably not even going to appraise.
Yeah.
But there are some strategies in place where, you can get your offer accepted knowing that it's not going to appraise. But once you're in a contract with the seller, you are in a whole different ballgame.
Right.
So now what you're doing is like you're taking the seller, you're dragging them into deeper and deeper waters, because now the property's tied up into escrow. So now the dynamics of the negotiating has flipped on over. Now you have control of the deal.
Got it. So we're going to cut the break here. We got about a minute left. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about financing real estate. Joey's going to give us a lot of insight on what his thoughts are with some of these buyers coming out of state here and trying to buy a home. Really focus on that. Also, we're going to talk more about post-COVID. If you guys want to stay tuned, we'll be right back.